Imagine working for the most ruthless boss in the industry, someone who humiliates you, overworks you, and treats you like you're nothing. How far would you go to get revenge? That's exactly what happens in Swimming with Sharks, a movie that exposes the brutal reality of office politics, power struggles, and corporate ambition. The movie follows Guy, a young assistant who lands his dream job working for Buddy Ackerman, a powerful Hollywood executive. But instead of mentorship and success, he gets abused, humiliated, and pushed to his breaking point. At first, Guy accepts it because he believes that enduring this suffering will lead to success. But eventually, he snaps. He decides to turn the tables, taking his own form of revenge on Buddy in a shocking and brutal way. But beyond the drama, this movie is packed with real-world lessons about toxic leadership, the dangers of blind ambition, and how to navigate workplace power dynamics. So, if you've ever wanted to know how to survive and succeed in a ruthless corporate world, then stick around. Because today, on Real Hustle Academy, we're breaking down Swimming with Sharks and uncovering the biggest business lessons from this intense psychological drama. Before we dive into the lessons, let's quickly break down what happens in Swimming with Sharks. The movie follows Guy, a young, ambitious assistant who lands a job working for Buddy Ackerman, one of the most powerful executives in Hollywood. It seems like the perfect opportunity, until he realizes that Buddy is the worst boss imaginable. Buddy is cruel, manipulative, and abusive. He constantly yells at Guy, insults him, and treats him like he's worthless. He makes impossible demands, forces him to work insane hours, and even takes credit for his ideas. At first, Guy believes this is just part of paying his dues in the industry. He tells himself that if he can endure this treatment, he'll eventually rise to success. But the abuse only gets worse. The turning point comes when Guy snaps. After reaching his breaking point, he kidnaps Buddy, ties him up, and turns the tables on him. He finally gets to confront his boss and take revenge for everything he's endured. But the movie doesn't have a typical Hollywood ending. Instead of winning, Guy learns a dark truth. In the corporate world, power is everything. Just when it seems like he has the upper hand, Buddy manipulates him again, proving that the real winners aren't the hardest workers, but the ones who control the game. So, what can we learn from Swimming with Sharks? How do you navigate office politics, deal with toxic leaders, and succeed without losing yourself? Let's break it down. One of the hardest lessons in Swimming with Sharks is this: hard work alone won't get you to the top. Guy starts out believing that if he works hard, follows orders, and stays loyal, he'll be rewarded. But Buddy proves him wrong. No matter how much Guy sacrifices, he gets nothing in return. No recognition, no respect, and no promotion. Meanwhile, Buddy thrives. Why? Because he understands that success isn't about working harder. It's about playing the game better. Buddy uses power, manipulation, and intimidation to stay on top. And in the end, even when Guy finally tries to take control, Buddy outsmarts him again. In business, being good at your job isn't enough. You also need to be strategic, learn how office politics work, build relationships, and understand how power really moves in your industry. Throughout the movie, we see how a toxic boss and a toxic workplace can break even the strongest person. Buddy pushes Guy past his limits, overworking him, insulting him, and making him feel worthless. At first, Guy tries to resist, but over time, the stress and abuse change him. By the end of the movie, Guy has transformed from a young, hopeful assistant into a man consumed by rage and revenge. He becomes exactly what he once hated. This happens in real life, too. When people stay in toxic work environments for too long, they either burn out, lose confidence, or become toxic themselves. If your job is destroying your mental health, it's not worth it. No job, salary, or title is worth sacrificing your well-being. Learn when to walk away. Buddy leads through fear, intimidation, and humiliation. He believes that the only way to control people is to break them down and make them afraid of him. At first, this method seems effective. His employees obey him, they don't question him, and they work endlessly to meet his demands. But in the long run, it creates resentment, disloyalty, and chaos. A great leader inspires people, doesn't manipulate them. The best leaders build loyalty through respect, not fear. If you're in a leadership role, remember this. Fear-based leadership might give you short-term results, but in the long run, it will backfire. The most successful teams are built on trust, respect, and motivation, not intimidation. Buddy is powerful, but he's also ruthless. He manipulates, lies, and takes advantage of people to stay on top. And while this works for a while, it eventually catches up to him. Guy, on the other hand, learns that if you play by Buddy's rules, you might win, but at the cost of becoming just like him. This is a common theme in business. Some people believe that to get ahead, you have to cut corners, betray people, and ignore ethics. But history has shown that long-term success comes from integrity. If you want to be successful in business, stay smart, stay strategic, but don't lose your values. Your reputation is your most valuable asset, and once you lose it, it's almost impossible to get back. So, what are the biggest lessons from Swimming with Sharks? It's not just a movie about a toxic workplace. It's a cautionary tale about power, ambition, and how the corporate world really works. Let's recap the key takeaways. Power matters more than hard work. Working hard isn't enough. If you want to succeed, you need to understand how office politics and power dynamics work. Toxic work environments will change you. Stay in a bad workplace for too long, and you'll either burn out, lose confidence, or become toxic yourself. Know when to walk away. The best leaders lead with respect, not fear. Fear-based leadership creates resentment and disloyalty. True success comes from inspiring and motivating people. Success without ethics comes at a cost. Cutting corners and manipulating people might get you ahead temporarily, but in the long run, it will cost you your reputation and your future. At the end of the day, Swimming with Sharks teaches us a harsh but important truth. Business is not just about skill, it's about strategy. If you want to win, you need to be smart about how you navigate the system, but never at the cost of losing yourself. Now, let me ask you, if you had a boss like Buddy Ackerman, how would you handle it? Drop a comment below and let's talk. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more business lessons from movies. We analyze the best money, power, and leadership strategies from Hollywood so you can apply them in real life.